the time has come. You know, this is part of it. We're going to be butchering these birds probably tomorrow. So I'm just trying to get some prep work done today. Y'all know, they've been following my channel. We've been working out of the country, out of the farm, trying to get a house built out there, and we're finally moving forward with that, where we're actually starting to think about building. Got the loan approved today, yeehaw. So we're you know, that's picking up a lot of steam fast, and we really got to do something about these birds, because we've only got 6 of them, and I would think, well, we could just move them on out to the farm, but most of them are 3 years old, going on 3 years old. The red sex link and a couple of the bards, and for sure the 2 Americanas. Those were 2 of the original birds we got, 2 of the Americanas. So they're at least, you know, 3 years old now, and they've started molting in about September, and they don't start laying again until like March. So they're pretty non-productive. Right now we've got one that Silver Lace Wyandotte. She's the only one laying. So we're lucky if we get 1 egg a day out of her, otherwise we get nothing. So for me to go to a lot of extra effort to build a temporary chicken coop at the farm, just to move them to, just to have a bunch of useless birds, no. We're going to put them in the freezer. So I'm getting a couple things set up for that right now. And 2, you know, once we get them out of here, then I can get all this disassembled, to get this area cleaned out and turn it back to, you know, its urban delight, to where it never looks like there was ever chickens here, because the house ain't going to sell with a chicken coop, I can tell you that. Note to self, get a kill cone. So the Americana here is very, very densely feathered. Very dense feathers. Alright, see if we can find some guts in here. Hey, we already got some.
They're not. Chicken guts aren't bad.
No, just don't want to split them.
What are you putting your chickens in? Are you putting them in plastic bags, or are you putting them in a...
I'll use our vacuum sealer. I figured it'd work about as good as anything.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Boy, she's a fatty old girl, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good night. No wonder they weren't laying. Good, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness gracious. I know fatty hen, they can stop laying if they get obese, but I didn't think she seemed obese. She's a skinny little thing.
No. Well, it's all placement of fat.
Yeah. Well, if you truly overfeed your chickens and they get truly obese, they can get non-productive. Oh yeah. Old gut sucking sound. There's something up top you gotta cut loose. I guess they're...
You ever use this smoker anymore?
No.
Smoker?
No.
Never have?
Huh?
You've used it, but you've not used it lately? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Now look, she had eggs inside of her. Just wasn't laying. She's got half-grown eggs in here. That's what these all are.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool. I've never cut that apart and looked at them. All with everything else, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you want that seed though, but that'd be kind of handy, I would say.
Oh my God.
A lot of fat, yeah.
Oh Jesus. I mean, she's got like, even look at this. Her livers are.
I see. Yeah.
Her livers are like orange. I keep telling myself I've filmed enough, but then I keep finding new stuff. Golly, yeah, they were just flat out fat birds. I mean, that's a solid chunk of fat. Look at that.
Yep.
So there you have it. My first experience with butchering chickens all on my own. My only other experience prior to that was when I was a kid. I don't even remember how old. Not very old. You know, and then it was just the fun of chopping their heads off and watching them flop around the yard and plucking their feathers. And then we take them in the house to Mom. She handled everything else, all the gutting and the butchering. So we never did skin them. And you know, that's why I didn't want to make this video as a how-to skin and butcher a chicken. Instead, it's my first go at skinning and butchering a chicken. So you know, it was interesting, the couple little things that I learned that I wanted to show you guys. I was stunned with how thick the feathers were on some of those, especially the Americanas. I mean, it was like they had wool. Their feathers were so thick on the underside. And of course, you know, the interesting thing with all of my birds being extremely fat, which I didn't know. I didn't feel like I was overfeeding them by any means. I felt like I was possibly underfeeding them. But that would explain why they molted for as long as they did and just flat out stopped laying. The only one that was still laying was the red sex link, and maybe that's just because she's such a hardcore layer breed, you know, compared to the other ones that are the dual purpose breeds. So that, you know, I found the one Americana that had the orange liver instead of the deep red liver. I don't know if she had a disease or what caused that. Oh, let's see, what else was there? Oh, the actual butcher process. Definitely want a kill cone or some sort of restraint for future efforts. I had, you know, they flopped around like crazy. I cut a lot of it out of the video. I didn't really feel I needed to show that. And they flopped for 2 to 3 minutes, a couple of them. So it's definitely something to restrain them. I had blood splattered on the garage wall. I had to wash off afterwards. You know, good luck selling a house with blood splattered on the garage wall. So anyway, you know, a couple little things I learned, and some of those things I knew going into it. You know, I knew I probably should have had a kill cone. I just kind of lost track of time, and I wasn't really fully committed that I was going to butcher when I did. And then the in-laws came in for Christmas, and I was like, hey, you know, it's now or never. They were here to help watch the kids. You know, so I was able to sneak out there and do it, and the kids didn't come out there and see what I was doing. I think they're still just a little bit young to really fully understand what Daddy's doing. Not that I don't want them to, just not quite yet. So anyway, yeah, a lot of learnings, a lot of interesting things. I totally didn't get any of it on footage, but I did actually save the gizzards and cleaned those right there on the spot. I actually was filming while I did it, but didn't realize my hands were out, not in the frame, so y'all didn't get to see any of that footage. But I actually cleaned and kept the gizzards. I'm a big fan of gizzards. I like to eat them. Pitched the livers because I don't like livers. Didn't even think about keeping the heart. And we ended up taking them in the house and just froze them as whole birds. So we'll pull them out and just, you know, brine them and then bake them or do whatever just as a whole bird. Or I guess I could still just thaw them out and butcher them later, you know, cut them up into pieces of deep fry. So left some options there. But I really think, you know, for being a first go, you know, for a crash course on something like that, I think I did pretty good. You know, I wasn't fast. I wasn't proficient by any means. I'll have to get a lot faster if I think I'm going to raise my own birds for meat someday. But I was satisfied with the results, and I'm happy it's done. You know, I've had the chickens now for, golly, three and a half years, I think. I think we got them fall of like September of 2013, so a little over 3 years, I guess. It feels like I've had them forever, but really not that long. Maybe it's because I've had so many kids in the interim. But feels like we've had them for a long time. Really haven't had them all that long. But you know, kind of close out this chapter, and look forward to getting moved out to the farm and getting a much better coop or a better setup and getting more birds and having a lot more fun with it later. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and hopefully maybe somebody got something good out of this.